Hi everyone, I am Balaji Chippada and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will start a new series called Vector Algebra. I know this is completely regarding mathematics, but first in this video, let's understand what is machine learning and why do we need algebra to learn and how algebra can help us in the path of learning data science. So without any delay, let's get started. So let's learn linear algebra. But before learning this, first we need to understand what is machine learning. So let's try to answer this question. And once we answer this question, we will come back to why do we need to learn linear algebra and how it will help us in the field of data science. Because that is what we want, right? We want to get the intuition of why we need to learn and how it will be helpful. So let's say I have a lot of data. It could be internet data, it could be last year data, last 2 years data. So it could be of internet data, last 1 year data, last 2 years. Likewise, there is no limit on how much data you have, but all of this is historic data. So let's say I have a lot of historic data which is collected either from internet, either that you have stored, it could be from any time frame, but you have a lot of data, and I will pass all of this data to a machine called machine learning model. Let's treat this as a black box as of right now. Let's not go into detail of what this is. So let's assume this is a machine in which you are passing all of your data into this machine, and this machine will try to learn the patterns of the data. So whatever the data that you provide, it will try to learn the patterns. So once it learned everything, then the task of this box is given a new point, given a new data point, predict what it is. So let me rephrase it again. If you have a lot of abundant data or historic data and you pass all of that data to a black box called machine learning model, in computer language we call it as algorithm, and what this will do is it will try to learn the patterns of the data, and once the learning has been complete, the task of this black box is given a new data point, predict what it is. I know it is little bit confusing, so let's understand this with an example on what is machine learning and how machine learning works. So let's have a task like this. We have the data of weight and height of people, and we also have the gender information. So let's create the data point like this. We have height, weight, and gender. Usually, what happens if gender is equal to male, then height and weight are little bit more compared to if gender equal to female. So height and weight less, right? I am just generalizing this rule, it is not accurate. Of course there might be some male candidates in which their height and weight are very less, and there might be some female candidates in which their height and weight is very much tall. So there are some exceptions, but in general you can treat this like this, right? So let's take this data point. So let's say I have height as 160 centimeter and weight as 70 kg. So if I have to assume, if my height is 160 and weight is 70, usually it could be a male person, right? and then I have height 170 centimeter and 75 kg. I have male, and then I have height 140 centimeter, and then I have weight as 45 kg female, and I might have 150 centimeter, 49 kg female. I might have 160 centimeter, 40 kg male as well. I might have some data point like this as well, right? So let's assume I have data like this, and this is the data that I saved or collected. Now what I want to do is I want to pass all of this data into a machine learning model, and the task of this machine learning model is, given height and weight, we want to predict the gender. So if you look at this data clearly, if my height range is approximately 160 to 170, and if my weight is approximately 70 to 75, they usually fall into the category of male. And if my height is approximately from 140 to 150 and weight is around 45 to 50 kg, they fall into category of female. Of course, there might be some exceptions as well, but in general, this is the pattern that I extracted. Now by looking at the data, I extracted the pattern, but I want the machine to do the extraction of the pattern. That is what machine learning is. Hopefully that is clear. And once the machine learns all of this, and let's say I give a new point in which height is 180 centimeter and 75 kg. So this is a new point, right, in which we didn't have it inside our database. So 180 centimeter the machine has not seen before because it is a new point, and we have the weight as 75 kg. Given these two new points, my machine will try to predict this person is under male category. I hope you understood how machine works. So this is my historic data, and I pass the data to the machine learning model. It will find the pattern, and when a new point has been given, then it will try to predict. Now let's convert this into a plane or 2D axis and understand how it will learn. So this is my data, and what I would do is I would draw a 2D axis, so in which I have height here and weight here. Okay, now what I would do is I will mark the centimeters here. So 130, 140, 150, 160, 170 and 180, and I will do the plotting of 30 kg, 35 kg, 40, 45, and then I have 70, 75, 80. Let's assume like this. So what is the first point? 160, and then I have 70. So the point is somewhere here. And then next point I am doing 170 and 75 kg somewhere here. And then I have 140 and 45 kg somewhere here. So I will get a new color because of new female category, and 150 and 45 kg somewhere here, and then 160 and 40 kg somewhere here as well. So this is an outlier, let's not assume for now. And if I have to generalize for more points, let's say I have 100 points here, so the points will lie something like this, and then we have these as well, right? Now if you look at it carefully, all of these points are under male category because the height range is this much and weight range is this much, and all of these points are female category, right? So all of these are female and all of these are male. And by looking at these 2 points or set of points, I can draw a line like this. So this is a line which separates both clusters. So this is a cluster 1 which is of male and cluster 2 which is of female, and then I am able to draw a line which can separate both of these clusters. Is that clear? If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section below. And of course there might be some points in which this is a female, and there might be some points which is male as well. These are some outlier points. We'll learn about all of those things later, but majority of points we can group it together. Now let's say someone comes and gives you a new point here, so 140 and weight is 70. And what I would say is, because this point is beside this line, this will be categorized as female. So the rule is, once I draw this line, all the points that fall in this side of this line are under female, and all the points that are on the other side of the line are under male. So given any new point, let's say here, because this point is on the other side of the line, I will classify it as a male. So what machine learning is doing is, it is trying to find out this line. So that black box that we talked about, this machine learning black box is trying to learn this line. And once it learns this line, that means it learns the patterns given a new point. By comparing the which side of the point is to the line, it will predict whether it is female or male. Hopefully that is clear. So let's assume it is of x and this is of y. And in linear algebra, given an any line, the equation of line is equal to y equal to mx plus c. So m is slope and c is intercept. We will learn about slope, intercept, everything in the upcoming videos. This video is only for the introduction on why do we need it. So if my machine wants to find out this line, then I would have to find out what is the slope and what is the intercept. This I can get it from linear algebra. So what is linear algebra? Linear algebra is a section of mathematics in which we will try to fit the planes or lines such that machine will try to learn. So internally what machine is doing, it is trying to find this line. If it finds, then it is able to successfully classify the points. Now comes the interesting part. Let me delete a couple of things here. So now you might ask, why only this line? So I can draw a line like this, and even this line is separating both of my points. I can draw another line like this. So even this line is separating both of my points. So this is line 1, line 2 and line 3. So all of these lines are separating all of my points. But if you look at it carefully, line 1 and line 3 are little bit better because we are able to separate these points clearly. So the task of machine learning box is to find the best fit line. So we need to find which line is the line that is helpful for our data, because we want to segregate these points based upon this male and female. So if you look at this line equation, y equal to mx plus c, if we change the slope of the line, the angle of the line will get changed, and if we change the intercept, this will also change. Now let's take an example on how it will change. So what I'm saying, y equal to mx plus c, and this is my y and this is my x. So if I say c equal to 0 and m equal to 1, so my equation would be y equal to x. That means if my x point is 1, y point is 1. So likewise, I will have data like this, and the line equation is this one. So this is line 1. And what if y equal to 2x? That means m is equal to 2 and c equal to 0. That means if my x point is 1, then y point is 2. So it would be something like this. Line 2. So by changing the values of m and c, so if I change c, I will have the line like this. We will learn about these things later. So this is line 3 if I change the value of c. So by changing the values of m and c, we were able to rotate or change the direction of the line, and machine learning task is to find the line which separates both of our points accurately. So that is what the task of machine is. That is what machine learning internally does. Hopefully that is clear. Now you might ask, what if I have points like this x1, x2, x3 and I have target y? Then I would have three-dimensional axis like this. So x1, x2 and x3, and there might be some points here like this, and there might be some points here like this. Now because it is a 3D plane, 3D axis, I cannot draw a line. Now I would have to draw a plane actually. So this is a plane. Plane is basically separating the three-dimensional axis. It's a little bit hard to visualize, and all the points above the plane will classify it as male, and all the points below that we classify it as female. Hopefully that is clear. Here we need to learn about 3D lines. So basically we call it as a plane. So this all we will learn inside a concept called linear algebra. What are planes, lines, 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, spheres? There are a lot of concepts that we will learn in detail and in depth, such that it will be very easy for you to understand the internals of machine learning moving forward. Of course, there are so many other techniques and methods that we will learn moving forward in this course, like linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees. A lot of interesting stuff we will learn. But before learning all of these things, we need to understand how you can build these lines and planes. And for that, you need to learn linear algebra. Hopefully, I made this clear for you. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section below and I will reply to each and every one of you. That's all for this video, guys. Hopefully, I made it clear how a machine learning works and how we have to learn linear algebra to understand how machine learn these patterns. And if you have any queries, please let me know. And moving forward, we will be learning all of these topics in detail. So stay tuned for further videos. And if you are learning something new from this video, sub to the channel would be amazing, and click that bell icon to get notified daily. We will meet you in the next video. Bye bye.